This is Stephanie, and this is the Mocha Minute Podcast. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minute Podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in the increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go. Got a story to tell you about some things that I've been through, but I'm healed. Oh, I'm healed. Had some ups and some downs, level to the ground, but I'm healed. Oh, I'm healed. Had to wrestle all night long. Wonder what went wrong, but I'm healed. Oh, I'm healed. Had some sunshine and some rain, heartache and some pain. I'm healed. Oh, I'm healed. My God has touched me, delivered. He set my soul free. My heart is mended. I'm whole again. No chains are holding me. Got my liberty. I am healed. I am healed. I'm healed today. Hello. Welcome to the Mocha Minutes Podcast. I am Stephanie. Thank you for joining me. I'm not all the way healed, but I'm on a healing journey. But there's something about that song that no matter what I'm going through, may have some scars, I am healed. Circumstances, I'm still healed. Disappointment, I am healed. Sorry, let me not hop into choir mode because this song can take me there. But thank you so much for joining me. I will let you know, Mama is solo dolo today, if you can believe it. But today is special. This week is special. So for two reasons. One, we made it. Actually, no, that's three reasons. Second reason is just announced that I am honored and privileged to be a speaker at the 4th annual Afros and Audios Podcast Festival. This year is going to be in Philly. It's not Jilly from Philly, but Stephanie's going to be in Philly in October for Afros and Audios. And I get to do a chat, a panel. It says, it feels panel, but it feel like it's just going to be some sister girls talking. I get to do this with Leo Rochelle from That Fat Girl Chronicles, and then Tamara from Entrepreneur Shit Happens. First of all, it's like we have evolved that we can say shit in titles, so I'm very excited. And we are going to be talking about to thine own self be true. Talking about authenticity on your platform and in your show. Very excited to do this. It'll be in Philly. So the weekend of October 22nd. So October 22nd and 23rd, I'll be in Philly with these ladies and seeing some of the usual suspects. Let me tell y'all something. Afros and Audio Podcast, that committee, they work their butts off. They make it happen every year, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. I've been excited since day one, and I'm still excited. So The third reason why this week is special is this week marks the 5th birthday of the Mocha Minute Podcast. September 2017 is when the Mocha Minute Podcast was born. If you were to tell me that 5 years in, I would still be podcasting, it's like part of me will believe you, but it probably will be the part of me that is like, you started a podcast? That's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, did I start this podcast? Am I really doing this? Is this really a thing? Yeah, it is. I did this. Like I think about it, it's like, woo, it's been 5 years. And I have to say, I don't think it would have been 5 years. I think it would have been grand opening, grand closing if it wasn't for my friend Damon. Because she saw it and I didn't. Because I think what it is that scary thing where you're like, I don't know if I could do this by myself. And here I am, like I'm Mr. Span, doing a solo episode podcasting. I haven't done solo episodes in a while because I like to talk. I like to have conversations. I like to laugh and kiki, girl. All of the things. That's like what I like to do. And it feels so amazing to still have this mic, to still be on, to still be sharing, to still be talking. It's awesome. So I don't think, no, it's not even a think. I know I would not have made it 5 years without him on. And you're like, wait, but she hasn't been in the show. She hasn't been here for so long. Yeah. But don't think because you don't hear her on this mic, she ain't going, girl, get your ass on out there. And as I think and reflect on the 5 years, for anybody who doesn't know, but I feel like I've been open and honest about this. I lost my dad in February. And I lost him when I didn't think I was going to lose him. Time is a weird thing. Life is a weird thing because the people that are staples in your life, and that's most notably your parents, you, no matter how old you are, if you expect them to be here, you don't expect them to be gone. So if you had told me at 40, I would have lost my dad, I'd be like, no, because he would be there at my 60th birthday party, acting a fool, probably standing on the side clapping or doing anything he can do to help. And now sitting here in September to just go, he really isn't here, is a wild thing. And a thing that I know I'm going to be grieving and healing from for the rest of my life. My dad has never been on this podcast. My dad didn't listen to podcasts. But you know that time after, you're going through things. I found his wallet. I think my brother, found his wallet. And in his wallet, sidebar, okay, this relates to afros and audio. The first year I went, mind you, I said 4 years. I've been podcasting 5 years. So I was somewhat of a novice podcaster. I was a new podcaster. It was a little bit under a year that I had been podcasting. So I'm like trying to be like imposter syndrome. That's how it felt to me. So I'm like, let me get some, like everybody else do. Let me get some Vistaprint business cards to take with me to the podcast festival. So I had them made. Vistaprint is like the plug for a lot of people when you're just starting until you are lucky enough to find either keep it find a better design and still get it printed by Vistaprint, or find somebody who like, I do this for a living. So I'm not even going to knock Vistaprint because my first business card was cute and I had it. I remember giving some to my parents. In my father's wallet was one of my business cards. My father never listened to any of my episodes. He never listened. Everybody's like, and I'm pretty sure people are like, your mom has been on this podcast. Your brother has been. Why not your dad? I'm like, this is not his thing. And I wouldn't make it be his thing anyway. My dad was one of my biggest supporters. And he would do so much in silence because I had no idea he was walking around with my business card. And I remember telling my mom that, and she said, Stephanie, you have no idea. He was so proud of you. And sometimes I just go, sometimes you don't know that people are there and you don't even know because they're not telling you anything. And I know I'm going to be missing him for the rest of my life. And even though my father has never been on this podcast and he didn't listen to the podcast, he wasn't like a talk radio person. He liked music at most on the radio. If it wasn't music he was listening to, it would be the Ravens game on a couple of stations here. They would broadcast live the radio, like the football game. But he's a part of this podcast. It's weird to say in an audio podcast he's a silent part, but he is a part. And so it's just a sobering thought, you know? Grief is not linear. And thank you to everyone who has reached out and told me that. And told me that it's okay to not be okay. And to be kind to myself. And to take the time that you need. So I want to thank everyone who is listening to this. All of you who have been like, it's fine. Let me know when you're coming back. Because it's been 7 months. And it has been rough. It has been so hard. And you don't realize when someone you love leaves, it's like a part of you leaves with them. It just is. You're still here, and a part of you doesn't want to be. But the part of you, that one little special part of you that belonged only to that person, it's gone and it's gone with them. I have friends who have talked to me about losing parents. And I think as a Black woman, it's very interesting when you think about father dynamics, because the rolling talk about not having a dad, being raised by a single parent. A friend of mine gave me some of the best advice. She was like, let yourself feel, but I will tell you, a lot of people don't understand what I'm about to tell you. It's so hard to grieve your father when he was a good one. When you have a parent that you didn't have a good relationship with or no relationship with, mourning them may still be hard, but not as hard as it is when you have a really good relationship with your parent. Especially when it came out of nowhere. And so, also, if, yeah, a piece of you passes, but for some, when it comes to your parent, if you're a woman, sometimes your father, if he's a good one, he's the love of your life. And I feel like I've lost the love of my life. Because not only did my father love me, he liked me. He never wanted me he never pushed me down. He never treated me like I was less than. When I was a teenager, he always would show me, and I think I've probably told this story, if not here in Clubhouse, where I gave a story about car. He taught me how to change a tire, even though I hate it. And I'm like, girl, I will call AAA so quick. Give me roadside assistance. Roadside assistance me now. He told me how to check oil, listen for sounds, change spark plugs. And I remember going, Daddy, why are you showing me this? And he was not joking when he said it. He said it with a straight face. Because I don't want you dependent on no man. And at the time, I was like, oh, is that bad? And then I realized why he said it. Because he was one. And he knew ain't shit dudes. Whether he knew them personally or he's just seen them walking down the streets at his job, whatever. He made sure to teach my brother not to be an ain't shit dude. But he made sure it's not that he didn't want me to have a partner. He just was like, nope, I don't want you to have to depend on no man. Because he had been a man so long that he knew how some men are. If you don't know something, they'll use that to their advantage. Or if they do something for you, what's in it for me? That's the kind of man my father was. One of the kindest people you've ever met. Very funny, very serious, but always attentive. When I was a kid, and we didn't have the Ravens until like 95. So when I was a kid, didn't understand football at all. He would watch. He wasn't watching them Steelers or them Colts. you know. But he would watch 49er games. Those are the ones I really remember. And when I would ask questions about football, it was like, girl, be quiet. I'm trying to watch my game now. However, I think it was in my early 20s. And I remember he was watching the game. And at the time, I didn't understand the game at all. And I said, what is a first down? He spun around in his chair and said, okay. He pulled out some paper and then drew a football field and explained to me how downs worked. He drew me a diagram and he explained it. And I think it was because he was just excited. So it's like every so often I would watch games with him. He would ask me, like, if it's something doing the Ravens, we would talk and my mother would always laugh. Oh, Lord, y'all about to talk about football. Let me go upstairs. But then she also was like, laugh because she's like, he loves talking about football with you. He did it with my brother as well. But I think it was probably a little bit different because I think the notion that women don't really like sports is laughable considering if you look at the stats of football fans, it's majority women. And it's not just because the guys are cute and they wear tight clothing and you got cute butts. No, some of us just really like the game. I mean, the cute guys don't hurt. Just saying. So I was trying to figure out what to do for the birthday, but yeah, my dad. So I was trying to think about what to do, how to do this, and what to do for the fifth birthday. I'm trying to think if I want to say fifth birthday or anniversary, and I don't know. It's like I oscillate between the two because I'm like, would it be considered a birthday or an anniversary? Maybe that's a poll. Maybe I can just see, would I call it an anniversary of your podcast or a birthday of your podcast? Maybe it's anniversary. I don't know. Either or, this is what I'm thinking of. So when I think about the show, of like people that are on the list, if I won an award right now, that's what I wanted to do for the anniversary. If I won an award right now and didn't have somebody playing me out for this fifth anniversary, I wanted to do thank yous. So I had to think about thank yous. I think I maybe won award, but just in case, I won an award. Who do I want to thank? So it's a list. Let's start with people who have inspired this podcast. So gotta thank Rod and Karen from The Black Guy Who Tips, Queen and Jay from Tea with Queen and Jay, Sarah Fraser from the Hey Frage podcast, Rashani from the Single Simulcast Network. Child, Rashani's one of those people where it's like, can you not be able to do something? Like, seriously, he can do everything. Like, it's ridiculous sometimes when I think about it. Crystal and Kid Fury from The Read. I've never met them, but The Read is just one of those things where it's like, read me, please. Give me something to listen to, because God, I love it. Diamond from Marsha's Plate. Child, Diamond is that sister that I wasn't born with. And you're probably like, what? I'm like, I think I've met her once. I was trying not to be inappropriate because she's stunning in person. But there's just something warm about her, and she got me hooked on white cheddar Cheez-Its, because that's what my good auntie sis, because we around the same age, had in her purse when I went to Afros and Audios. Brandon from Why So Serious. Child, he is so funny. And oh my God, the baby's so cute. These are people who inspired my podcast. People that have kept this podcast going. These are my pod cousins, pod brothers and sisters in the trenches. Mr. Span from the Span Report. This man does a podcast by himself. And I always ask him, like, how are you able to do this? Mind you, I'm 20-something minutes in, and I'm going, oh, I can still talk. I got still more stuff to say. But Mr. Span, Cook, you may know her from Cook and Gooch. Also, shout out to Gooch. Funny as I don't know what, and I wish she was still making candles, okay? Cook from Highly Inappropriate. Charmaine, I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying to dry up these tears. Charmaine, who is a maven of podcasting. She got a whole bunch of podcasts. Militantly Mixed, Blurcom Mixed, By Furious Pod. I think it's Queer Travel. Oh my gosh, she has way too many podcasts. Like, geez Louise, she got way too many. I'm tired of Charmaine having all this stuff to do. She got all these daggone podcasts. I can't keep them straight. It's like, daggone, stop being so busy, girl. Stop being so busy, girl. Okay, so sorry about that. I had to pull up it. Queer and Far Travel Podcast. That is the name of a podcast. Lord have mercy. She also makes very good masks. I love her mask. I feel like the only mask that I put on my face are the ones made by Charmaine. But yeah, for all of that, it is Main Hustle Media. That's Main Hustle, Mane, Main, like Charmaine. My buddies over at Why So Serious. So Brandon, Michael, Devin, Reese, Love it. Absolutely love it. Sorry, I really should have written it down, but I did not because it's just in the front of my mind. Oh, and also Sean Bay, aka Mario Van Peebles. Yep, got to give it to him as well. I said T with Queen and Jay. I'm like, there's people that I just, if it wasn't for them, I don't know if, I'm like, I want to keep going just because I want to work with them. How about that? I just want to podcast with them. My girl Taria from What Else Is Going On? I want to call her Why So Serious. That's not what she is. From What Else Is Going On? That is my girl. If you need somebody, I will say this. Cook is a Sagittarius. Taria is an Aries. Y'all better keep a Sagittarius and an Aries in your back pocket. Keep them in. You need them. I will say that. Stop that. You need a Sag in your life. You need an Aries in your life. You need a Leo in your life, not for nothing. That's me too, girl. Thanks. Reality and comics too. Let me tell you something about Kendrick. That is my boy. Gotta love him. A boy Jay over at Frowntown. My girl Asa. That is my sister. Guys, I'm going. So gotta give shout out to Ratchet aunties and uncles, Ricky, Asa, and Jay. Oh, I'm sorry. I miss, and I wish he was still doing his podcast because he was funny. But Odd Black Individual, aka my Obikins, I miss seeing him. But sometimes I know you gotta put things down and gotta take care of yourself. My girl Monty from Mixing with Monty, I will tell you this, she was my gateway. I would have never met or found Taria if it wasn't for Monty. And the fact that people are like, oh, because I was wondering about you, and Monty said you were cool. See, shout out to Monty. Can't wait to see you get married in November. Cannot wait. I sound like Oprah. I should not sound like Oprah. My booze at Bravo Well Black. So, let me tell you something. When I come to Florida, we're going to go and eat because they know where the heck to go. Okay. That's what I'm like. I just want to go out on a foodie tour with them. Another inspiration was What's the Tea? That is a podcast with Reg and Nick Jew. Love it. They definitely hilarious. My babies over at Flawless Noises Media Network. So it's a lot of people over there. Candace, Jeremy, aka the Country Carburetor, aka that man that be up late at night typing the filth, aka don't look at his likes, judge your mama. Girl Bianca, who y'all better snatch her up for real. I'm just saying. We got T-Gym, they got so much stuff over at Flawless Noises, and that's such a dope network. So happy for Candace because she has moved. Basically, she's moved and Bree. Side note, Bree was supposed to be on this podcast, but life was lifing at the time. So note to self, call Bree so we can get her on the podcast. See how that works? See how that works? The Awakened Soul. This man over at Awakened Soul, he cracks me up. So CEO Hayes, who has a very luxurious beard, gotta love it. My boy PJ Ryan from highly. I mean, what did he not do? He teaches the kids. He is an amazing editor. He is very funny on live. I miss him on lives. But again, life is lifing. Loved having lives with him. Dope energy. Always was, always will be. The captain or the captain's couch. I'm just saying, black therapist, a black male therapist, the captain, he's dope. And you should listen to him. And also, he's very honest about himself, and he's almost also honest about what's been going on with him. And he's very honest about his journey. One of my other pod cousins, and I did not judge my head and not my heart again. I'm going to keep going. Old Man Wade. Old Man Wade is someone who likes to talk, but he also likes to listen. And that is a very, very valuable trait to have when you're trying to evolve and grow. Because Old Man Wade can have thoughts and opinions and feelings and then be listening like, I didn't think about it that way. Old Man Wade, dope guy. Bad and boozy. Let me tell you about D and So-So. Those my wine hoes. I can call them wine hoes. Y'all can't. Okay. Ladies, D is my child inspiration. When I tell you, I'm like, that's the person I'm like, let me talk to you about wine. Cause she a Baltimore girl just like me. So is about to be like my choir sister. So we're going to have to restart like Twitter, morning worship on Sundays. We need some other, sopranos up on here. I talked about Mr. Span. Mr. Span is so dope. He really is. So it's hard to talk about podcasts without talking about Barry from Podcast in Color. Something that started as a labor of love. And she did this only because I need a directory, because there's so many, everybody talks about the market is saturated, but it's like, have you heard of every pod in color? No. Homegirl put a whole directory together, and she is still going strong. And also, she's been on this show, so shout out to Barry, because that is a lot of work, and she is still building. She gets on Twitter Spaces now, says, come to this Twitter Spaces and tell me about your podcast, because I need to add you to the directory. There's been some dope ladies. I've talked about Marsha's Plate, Purple Diamond Stalls. Mia Mix. Yeah, I can't come to Texas because Mia lives there, okay? I can't come to Texas. Mia lives there. I might have to like get real close so I can sniff her. I'm kidding. Let me stop. I did mention Rashani, the jack of all trades. If you want to know about podcasts, you want literally dope knowledge about podcasting, please talk to Rashani. He has a fee, so pay his fee. I'm just saying. He also is a chef, and I'm like, you lucky I live in California. I'm sorry, you live in California. I don't live in California. I can't come near you. If I was near him, I swear I'd be getting food from every week, because that food is just ridiculously good looking. I mentioned Cook from Highly Inappropriate is one of those people that you just need around. She will keep you like, you're like, am I losing my mind right now? She's like, no. Because if you need like a ear, a shoulder, some eyes, and if you're lucky, some hands, Cook is the person to know. And she has helped me to understand the benefit of taking time off when your heart and your spirit are just not in it. The last 7 months, I have recognized that, where I'm just like, I got to take a step back. So thankful that Cook is my friend, but also so glad that she's in this podcast space. And by the way, y'all, she coming back. So just know, sometimes life is life and we got to put stuff down for a little bit, but we coming back. We really, truly are. I got to shout out my girls, the Family Karma Cast. These ladies, they talk about Family Karma on Bravo. If it's not in your rotation to watch, it need to be in your rotation. those ladies that Family Karma cast, love them. I love that they are bringing to light and bringing so much rich cultural context to things that we didn't know about, like when it comes to South Asian culture. Love it. Please listen. Glad that Bitch is Better is back, because love Raven, and she was so beautiful as a bride. I was not there. I just saw the photos, y'all. And I was so glad that things went off without a hitch. Black girl who talks sports, and also the Gridiron Girls. This is what I'm talking about when they talk about women don't like sports. These two different podcasts talk about sports, and they are good at it. They know what the hell they're talking about. It's great. This is why I'm like, oh, women, we like sports. We like to talk about it, y'all. We really do. Like, we like sports, we like football, we like looking at the men, but we also like the actual game. And I'm gonna keep going because I just love it. I just love it. Gangplank Report. I'm a Bravo watcher, so I watch everything on Bravo, and I got to meet, if you are watch Below Deck, Adrian, who was the chief stew on the first season of Below Deck. She is so funny. Oh gosh, my arm is itching and I don't know why. Her and Jen, who is a Below Deck super fan, they have the Gangplank Report. Some of my fun escapism podcasts where I can just talk about Gangplank and talk about Below Deck, and it is some of the funniest time I've had. So glad that I get to every so often podcast with them. Sometimes you just need a way to get in and get out and just I just need some time to just relax and talk about Below Deck and just laugh. And talk about Donnie Wood and Chelsea. And let me just tell you this, Chelsea, I'm sorry. Donnie's the cute one. And I just love it. I love that I can talk about movies in theater with Donnie. I really do. Love it. And this is just people that because of this podcast, I have been able to meet them and love it. The reality is podcast. Let me tell you something. Those are my Twitter buddies. Because I swear sometimes I'm like, I'll just tweet or they'll just tweet and it's like we're talking to each other. It's like, girl, what the heck? What is going on? How did we get here? I'm like, girl, I don't know. But here we are. She is not a podcaster, but I got to shout out to people who aren't podcasters, but they are. It's like, actually, no, she is a podcaster. Let's talk about Latrice Sampson, who I told her, mind you, I met her virtually because of Afros and Audios. And I told her the minute that I see her, I'm going to throw myself on her. Now, the only reason why I did not throw myself on her when I saw her is because we were in the middle of a session at the Black Pod Festival down in Atlanta. She got in it late and I was looking around and all of a sudden I saw this wave. I'm like, oh. So as soon as the session was over, I made a beeline to her and I said, oh my God, I told you, as soon as I see you, I'm going to jump on you. And that is what's going to happen. And believe me, y'all, I did. And I'm like, I can't wait to see her again because she's with Afros and Audio. I can't wait to see her. I can't wait to see her when we're in Philly. I just want to let you know. That African Butterfly, aka Niamade, love having Bravo checks with her. And I know she has been Team Kyle, and her team has been down bad this season on Beverly Hills, but that's neither here nor there. I get it. I see. Y'all, I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, it's been 5 years. And so I'm sitting here like, it's a lot of people that I've been able to, work with and podcast with and meet and become friends with and just, text. Cause let me tell you something. Sometimes me and Kendrick can just, Kendrick from Reality and Comics too, we can just text something. We're just like, girl, what the heck is this? Or it's Ace. I was like, girl, what the heck is this? And I'm just like, these are just really, really, really dope, amazing people that I just, in my years of podcasting, this is why I get to meet them. It's like, good Lord. And I feel like I can't not talk about Coach Talib when I talk about this podcast, because again, I said Afros and Audios is this upcoming, it's the 4th year. And this is my 5th anniversary birthday. I don't know which one to say, y'all. I really don't. So I got to shout out Coach Talib. He's just awesome. And the thing about it is, he's like, I wanted to have this podcast festival, just something for us. And when I tell you that's a beautiful thing, it's a beautiful thing. Because sometimes you're like, I can't wait for somebody else to do it. I'm going to have to do it. And I'm so glad that he pushed through and did it. Who am I missing, y'all? I will say this. Any person who has ever been on the Mocha Minute Podcast, thank you. Because you didn't have to be here. You could look like, let me see your numbers. What have you been doing? And there are people going, no, I just want to talk because I like to talk. So to see just so anybody I got the podcast with. Oh, hold on. Shantae Fabulous, who is a dream to podcast with. And I am so glad through Rashani, I got to meet Shantae. See, again, it's like when I've made these connections with other podcasters, I've met some other people and it's like, yeah, I just want to be around you. It's like you're going to go, I want to be where the people are. That's me. That's where I am. I kind of love it. I do. It's like I just have got to be with certain people. Yeah. Ooh. It's like, it's a lot in 5 years. It really is. It's a lot. The other thing is, it's a lot in 5 years. I have been able to podcast with just amazing people. And on top of that, some of them have become friends. It's so funny I say I got baby mamas, but Candace used to be my Midwest baby mama, but now she is in the South because she never away. She's in the South now instead of the Midwest. But my West Coast baby mama, I'm sorry, this should not be this funny, but it is. So my West Coast baby mama is Courtney. And I got to meet her on and through Brandon from who, by the way, I need him to restart his podcast, but I understand that he going to have to take some time, and that is fine. But I feel like all the dudes that I know that are named Brandon, who podcast, Brandon from Why So Serious, Brandon from Where's My 40 Acres, and then Brandon, who his podcast is it's B Touch if y'all really want to know. I just why am I blanking on things? I don't know. I really, really, really don't know. Why am I blanking? It's because I just got a lot of stuff in my head and I'm blanking on the name of his podcast that he does not do anymore. Why am I blanking on him? Because I'm having a brain fart. So Brandon from Why So Serious, Brandon from Where's My 40 Acres, Brandon from Say Something Nice. Why can't you say something nice? Had to think. And I know it may come back, may not. I think it's dope and y'all should listen to old episodes. That is my theater, movie, music buddy to talk to. So if I want to talk about, and also I got to shout this sweet baby out because he is the first person to email me about my podcast, Samaj. Samaj is one the plug when it comes to a lot of stuff locally, but also he's just a sweetheart. He really is. And then he has started his podcast. I think he's on season 2. So got a sweet cat, gotta shout him out because he's just a sweetheart. Gotta shout out Absurd Spoonful on Twitter. That is my buddy. We don't look each other's likes, but we just, touch and agree on a lot of things. Okay. Gotta shout out The Rainbow, who I swear she makes me laugh. She's very honest and transparent. She's one of the people who have taught me about transparency in a way that I never understood before her, because she's unapologetically herself. And I absolutely love that about her. She is absolutely, positively herself. I also have to talk about a few people who have kept me grounded when I'm like about to float away. Monica, aka Dr. Monica. If you watch Camp Getaway, she was the therapist on that show. My boy Brandon Good with an E. He's out here doing all the things in Portland. Love him. Love the bishop. We will be on Clubhouse. I'll be like, come on, Bishop. Come on, we are the church of nuance when it came to a lot of things. And that's Bishop Brandon. My sweet, you know what? This is going to be the Clubhouse place where I've met friends off of Clubhouse. Clubhouse is an audio app. And when you get to the thick of it and meet people, you're like, oh, I kind of like you. And I want to be around you. I want to be where the people are. I want to talk to you. So, got to talk about Victoria, my English muffin. Got to talk about Les Child. Don't get him full circle fucked up, because he's like, he ain't what you want. My girl Natalia, my Virginia honey. Just really real. Love her. She is funny. Amber, when it's like, she I don't always go up on the stage, but when she do, when she let go, let have, it's going to be true. My girl Britt, my sweet girl, like Britt and Amber, and they are from Chicago. Don't get Britt started. Don't get Britt started. So the different clubs, shout out to Club Bravo, which is where I met a lot of these folks, and you kind of break off. The Spill and Sip group, the Reality Couch, talk about, the Reality Couch. It's so many different clubs. Whew. But let's see, Talia, Amber. Gotta shout out my Brit Brat. It's just way too many people. Yeah, shout out to Vanessa for starting Spill and Ship, because it's just a great place. I met some dope people on Clubhouse. It's kind of like you just think about Clubhouse. You're like, what does it have to do with the podcast? I've met other podcasters on there. Oh, here's the other person. The Scorpion, who does the Clubhouse rooms for Afros and Audios. Man, when I tell you, that's a labor of love. I love talking to her. And hopefully I get to meet her in person, because I've met her virtually. It's kind of like, we put meeting quotes, but I met her virtually. And it's just dope to listen to other podcasters. I was in one of her rooms and someone said, oh, I've heard of you before. I said, wait, how, when, where? What do you mean? What do you mean? How have you heard about me? See how this is? It's just a lot of people. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Everybody who knows me knows that I usually do show notes. And in this place, I have not done show notes. I have not done it. And I'm like, girl, Stephanie, why didn't you do any show notes? Girl, I don't even know. So shout out to Club Bravo's no longer here, but shout out to Dave and Jim. Creating a club where you can meet people and just talk and actually form friendships outside is a good place. When you're given the opportunity, to meet people, you'll be amazed at the people that you meet. So other Reality and Review is a club. The Warehouse, WARE, is a club. The People's Couch, you meet people in there like, y'all got to come on the show. Wow. Yeah, so some of these names you've heard Brandon on this show. I'm trying to get Dr. Momo, aka Monica, on this show. You've heard Les on this show. And there's some people, definitely Natalia and Amber, because we got to talk about Bell Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville, child. I've just been able to. It's really been 5 years. That's where I'm stuck here. That I'm sitting here. I haven't done show notes for this. It is off the cuff. And I'm just like sitting here thinking, OMG, I am overwhelmed. Let me shout out Wendy. There's a Wendy who does, met her through Club Bravo. She also does, he has a candle company. And I think and she is literally, if they were casting for OC, I feel like she should be cast. Like, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Oh, great. Hold on one second, because I'm gonna give you her candle company, Sandbox Soul. She has woodwick candles. I love it. But Wendy is my sweet, sweet, sweet Orange County housewife. She's not a real Orange County housewife, but she's like a reality show. But she should be, by the way. It's just a lot of people and it's a lot of things, and I am just amazed that I get to meet all of these people. I met a beautiful woman by the name of Karan at the Black Pod Fest in Atlanta. Met somebody. It's weird, and I don't know if it's just because I'm from Baltimore, but it's weird when you meet somebody from your hometown outside of your hometown. It's just like, oh my God, I feel so seen. Can't. It was just like an instant connection, and she is so dope, and she is knowledgeable. And also, if you want to get paid, Karan with a C, she the one that's trying to get you paid. I feel like there might be a part 2 to this. So let me put a pin in this. This is going to drop this week, but I think I'm going to be back next week to keep talking, because 5 years is a long time to be podcasting, and I would not be doing this without all of you. Oh, and shout out to Peanut. Homeboy held me down in a way, holds me down, not held. Held is past tense, still present. Holds me down. Because he's like, oh, I listen. And I'm like, just thank you. And I think I've only met him like maybe twice in person. But that man's a real one. He truly is. So I'm going to put a pin in this. And I'll be back next week to talk again, to keep talking about 5 years of podcasting for Mocha Minutes. So, y'all, I will be back next week. Bye.
We just look at the black girls like they at the bottom of the barrel for us, right?
Sweet Christmas. You know what's really funny is that you will see many a man kind of in the same situation, sitting in his car, having dry ass hair, dry ass lips, talking about why can't I just not be with women who are in the same skin tone and or racial demographic as me? Why can't I just shit on y'all and y'all just accept it? The reason, pretty pebbles for brains, is because that is not how preferences work. Also, you having a preference for a woman who is outside of your racial demographic is not a preference, dear. that's just hate and bigotry. But that is a whole different video. Let me just tell you something, Clyde. You can go skiing as often as you like. Please get a whole season pass to the bunny slopes. Please do. Please do. But there is a stipulation. When you have decided that you want to stay over there, white is right, and you're like, if it ain't, you're going to go where the snow goes. Okay? When something racist happens to you, do not come back over here and say, aren't you going to defend me? How can I do that, sir? I'm at the bottom of the barrel. How can I get there? Can't get there, sir. Sorry, can't reach outside the barrel. We're at the bottom, remember? So we can't help you. But isn't that usually the way? There'll be black men who speak like that. See how that works? See, when you're making a video, you don't speak in absolutes because you're only speaking for your rinky-dink ass. So men who like to make those kind of videos, they follow the same playbook. I'm going to make hating women in my own racial demographic a personality. And then when something happens to me, or heaven forbid, I am unalived at the hands of that same demographic that you said you prefer, they'll be like, wait, what about black solidarity? Sorry, can't do it. I'm at the bottom of the barrel, remember?